In the game Stray, you play as a lost cat, traversing an ancient, robotic, cyberpunk civilization with hostile enemies and a suffocating ceiling looming over all edges of the city. Now if that sounds like a game that's visually stunning and mechanically muted, then you'd be absolutely spot on. Stray will lead you down scenic vistas and neon light shows contrasted by a dark, vacant city, and from the perspective of a small animal, it gives the environment and visuals a different tune that could not be conveyed at the size of a human. When the horizon line is so low, it can add to the composition of the shot and emphasizes the suffocating atmosphere, knowing the sky above you is locked shut. Having a low camera angle changes the whole perspective of the scenic vistas that you're vista-ing. This would normally be a small note in the review of a video game, but the environment surrounding the idea to play as a cat complements the idea incredibly well. Especially now that cyberpunk has become incredibly saturated, it still manages to stand out. Exploring the dark city backgrounds with bright lights enhances the visuals, while also gesturing the right path and key areas to the player in a natural way. The way the cat moves is very smooth, and as a selling point of the game, they did a phenomenal job with the accuracy of a real-life cat. Good job, guys, you did it! Now you might be thinking to yourself, you might be wondering, Poyo, this is an old game now, it came out so long ago, why are you making this video now? Honestly, it's because I'm lazy. A bunch of stuff came up and I just started making other videos. But now that this video has been written for long enough, I think it's time I finally make it so I can get my thoughts out there, because I never really took time to say what I thought about this game. Anyways, I have had a very smooth experience with the game, but I was also recording. New areas would have very harsh lag spikes that would tank my frames, but everything in the area ran nicely. I've seen some people have issues with much larger bugs, and I had my fair share while playing, but they were far and few between, which made them stick out like sore thumbs. I don't know if updates will smooth out these bugs or not, but the game remains playable and bugs are relatively unintrusive. The game is published by Annapurna, who has published games like 12 Minutes, Journey, Neon White, and Outer Wilds. So you know that they are publishing some real good bangers. This game will fit comfortably among their peers that act more as interactive art pieces like Journey, but it will not challenge you like Neon White. Unfortunately, the dialogue is not very special, and the story itself fails to capture me. The idea I am proposing, and listen closely now, get a little bit closer. Imagine this game released, but you did not play as a cat. Let that sink in. Would people care about this game as much? Playing as a cat is a selling point of the game, but outside of that, the actual game-like aspects are not the selling point of the game. Blue 12 is really new as a developer. This game is not flawless mechanically. There is not much challenge when it comes to the platforming. You will magnet from one beam to the next. I don't even think falling is an option, but you can be eaten. This game is not going to challenge you very harshly. Most of the challenge came from running away and smashing B, or trying to find the route that they want you to take. This game does a good job in the beginning, keeping things small and teaching you things as you go. As the areas get bigger, you get more used to exploring them efficiently, but this drops off hard in Midtown. Midtown has a bunch of fetch quests that don't really make any sense, and I think it really damages the overall pacing of the game. Some of the puzzles took place in multiple areas, so while starting a puzzle in one area, you might not even know that you're missing a piece in another. Having a puzzle take place in multiple areas like this can risk slowing down the game immensely. It means that you need to talk to everyone so you don't miss any important puzzle pieces. Talk to no one and you run the risk of missing a piece you might need. I feel like when puzzles are structured like this, it can dilute them. In the smaller areas it's easier to tolerate, but in Midtown it can grind the game's pacing down to a slog, requiring you to run up and down the streets wondering what you're supposed to do or who you're supposed to talk to. I mean, even getting a hard helmet, you need to investigate a restaurant that's tucked in a little corner. I understand making a mechanically challenging game is not their intent, the same way a good movie should not be challenging to watch.
Thought I'd try out my sea legs.
Well, you ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dane.
Dark Souls is mechanically challenging and relies on tight timing, reactions, and quick choices. Things have stakes, something not present in Stray, making it hard to get attached to what's happening. This game is about presenting a short story, providing a visual feast, and being able to play as a cat. But I do see lost potential and another layer of depth to the movement or traversal. This smooth, quick, and easy maneuverability is a selling point though. It makes the game very accessible to people who don't play video games. So there's no skill gap between veteran gamers and new players. This game is really short, about 5 to 6 hours long, and the game is about $30. This game has almost no replay value, but it is worth your $30 if you have it laying around, because I'm interested in seeing what else Blue 12 can do. After researching it, Stray is the only game I can see that they've released. Even if you don't think this game is worth $30, if you see it a year from now, half off, and it's $10 to $15, then it's definitely worth it if you never get around to playing it. I'm not sure what other games Blue 12 might be making in the future, future, whether it be another game in the same vein as Stray, or something different. A lot of people who do not critically assess video games will be glued to the idea that you can play as a cat, and give the game 10s all around for fulfilling this niche, which is absolutely fine. They have a market and they're playing to it. Blue 12 plays a lot of their cards early on with the limited range of things a cat can do in this environment, but if they release a Stray 2 or some DLC, and it doesn't do anything new with the idea, I could see a sequel being hollow or uninspired. I gotta give it a out of 10. It's gotta be a out of 10.